What is up? Sharrett with Stine. Let me get Benji on here. Breaking news. Butch Jones let go from the University of Tennessee. Wow. I feel like this was probably several weeks in the works, honestly. I feel like it should have happened earlier. It didn't. And let me get Benji on here real quick. Benji's hopping on here. Yo, look at that. Look at that hat. Look at that hat.
Yeah.
Man, it
Wow.
happened. It happened.
Wow.
Butch Jones is out at the University of Tennessee, bro. What was your initial reaction when you first heard the news?
Well, it was crap.
Why did it take so long to happen?
Well, my initial thought was, I'm in church and I what the crap?
Right?
I can't do much right now. I was excited, and I am. I don't know. It's just I'm glad something finally happened.
Yeah. There's a team meeting. There's a team meeting today where Butch is apparently meeting with the team at 1:00.
Yeah. Right.
So that's going to happen today. He was just informed this morning.
Oh yeah.
Nothing happened last night, or him and John Curry had a meeting last night. So Butch was aware of it last night, whether it was before or after his post-game press conferences and stuff, I don't know. But yeah. Butch was made aware last night. Nobody knew about it other than Butch and Curry last night. Butch informed his assistant coaching staff this morning, and he's having a meeting with the players today at 1:00. So
see, he had to have known. Butch had to have known before this.
I'm sure he figured.
He just didn't know necessarily what game, I guess, or
right.
For the season, or
yeah, because there'd been rumblings of his agent Jimmy Sexton and him had agreed on a buyout, so the buyout was in place. It was going to happen. It just nobody knew when.
Right.
And
hey, let me give a quick shout out to my mom. Mom just logged on.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Bev, logging on. Your chili's amazing.
Let's get to the So this is like the first step of the process. Obviously,
yeah, it started. The process is rolling. The wheels are rolling.
Let's get to the important part of the process now that everybody, I'm sure, wants to. Well, because you and I are both in the know. We already know what's going to happen. So
obviously,
people should take our word as
obviously.
So anyway,
yeah. Who
is it?
Before we get into names, man. Before we get into names,
yeah.
It came out. Butch was given a chance to
coach
the last two games, and he declined.
Yep.
So he knew the writing was on the wall. Everybody else knew the writing was on the wall. He was out. And Butch Jones was given the chance to coach the last two games. He declined. Brady Hoke has been named the interim guy. I'm good with that for 2 games. I'm good with it. Like Michigan fans right now are on Twitter saying, "Oh, be careful what you wish for," all this stuff. 2 games. I'm good. We can make it roll for 2 games. I ain't worried about 2 games.
I don't care if Johnny Majors came back and coached.
Yeah, there was rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, like all the other rumors, but supposedly John Curry approached Phil Fulmer to do the last 2 games.
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh, can you imagine his name being announced over the intercom Saturday?
Can you imagine him beating LSU?
Ah, bring feels like 98.
That's right, man.
So Tennessee today has already lost 2 commits. Shockey Lewis, 3-star wide receiver from Florida, has decommitted, as has Trevor Engel, who I believe is a 3-star offensive lineman or something like that, has decommitted.
Which honestly, I kind of
it'll happen.
Oh, it will. But
yeah, I mean, there's more to come.
Yeah, with the star rating stuff, I kind of side with you, and I side with like somebody who is like 100% believe on the star system, which is my dad.
Right.
I kind of see both.
Yeah.
Because you see Bama and all this with 4 and 5, very few 3 stars.
Yeah.
And they look what they do.
Right.
But then I also think, look at ours. You still have to coach them up.
Yeah.
And,
We've been right there with the teams and stuff like that. As far as the amount of 4 and 5 stars that Tennessee has signed in the last 5 years, it's actually the same exact amount as Clemson.
And you still got to, with 3 stars, I would rather lose them, obviously, than I would a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But you can still coach 3 stars up to be great.
Yeah. There's always diamonds in the rough and things like that, but they've already lost 2 commits. I think though those guys will, as of right now, Tennessee has the 3rd ranked recruiting class in the SEC, 14th overall in the country, and that's before these two left. That was with losing Cade Mays and all those guys. They've had several decommits over the last couple of weeks. There was 4 big time commits that was visiting Ohio State yesterday. That was there for their massacre of Michigan State. So several big names are touring the country that were Tennessee commits that are looking elsewhere. But I believe this news is kind of what players and those players that were started to walk the other way will now kind of turn back around.
Yeah,
and
they know
the wheels are rolling.
Just like Cade Mays said, he's not a fan of anybody that likes mediocrity. Well, maybe it will, and see, but this is all dependent. It is all dependent on who Curry hires.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
it's completely dependent on that. And and will anybody remain on the staff? Does anybody deserve to remain on the staff? John Curry came out and said that he wants Brady Hoke to be the interim, so Larry Scott can focus on offense. Shoot can continue focusing on defense, so they don't have to run the interim and the defense or anything like that. So that was the reasoning behind Hoke being named the interim coach. And like I said, I'm good with Hope being the interim coach.
Oh yeah,
I can roll with anybody for 2 games. The process has started, and it's got to be a fast process though, because early signing period is this is the first year of early signing period that kids can sign on, and that's the 2nd, 3rd week. That's like December 22nd is the early signing period.
Right. And see, I mean, even if they do sign in December, you can still flip them, but it's going to be harder this year to flip somebody because of the early signing.
Right. Oh, yeah. No, once those kids have signed, they're in.
You can still flip them, though, from February, can't you? Till February?
No, that's it. What's going on in December, if I'm not mistaken, what's going on in December is exactly what happens in February, but those kids that are good to go and ready and whatnot.
So they can't change then. If they put
that's why this hire will happen within the next couple weeks.
Well, that really sucks, because I was under the impression that, then there's a large sense of urgency then. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, when they sign, they're done. No, I disagree. Cade Mays, I think there's still a good chance he signs with Tennessee. He loves Tennessee. And I think he's I think there's still a good chance Cade Mays ends up signing with Tennessee. Hard to believe that, we get a stable coach in here in the next couple of weeks, and they're going to reach out, obviously, to Cade Mays and those guys. And I still think those guys love Tennessee. These Tennessee kids love Tennessee. I think a lot of the in-state guys will remain committed, but these guys that are kind of out of state and whatnot, I think a lot of them will take a step back approach and see who Tennessee hires. And so
let's get to that. I know everybody's waiting for that. Let's get to that question.
Yeah.
I'll
give you.
Wait.
5 names.
You look so. You act like you don't want to talk about this.
5 names. I got 5 names, and it'll be one of the 5.
Okay.
It'll be one of the 5.
Go ahead.
My list.
Go from 5 to 1. Go from 5 to 1.
Okay, 5 to 1. I know the 5. I don't have them in any particular order.
Oh, okay. We'll just name 5.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But Chris Peterson from Washington.
Yeah.
Gary Patterson from TCU. And even though that article came out this week about Gary Patterson and how Tennessee turned him down and how, they made a mistake back in 2009 of turning him down, I still think money talks. I think there's a chance Gary Patterson comes back, and I'd be good with that. John Gruden, people laugh, people say whatever. There's a legit chance that John Gruden coach at Tennessee. I would put it right now at about 60 to 70% that John Gruden's the coach at Tennessee.
That's high for you.
Yeah, that is.
That is way high.
Very high for me. Scott Frost and Dan Mullen are the other two.
Okay.
I think there's a legit chance. I think a lot of people expect Frost to stay in Florida and go to Florida. But I think there's a legit chance. I don't think Jeff Brome, I think is who he's talking about. I think he's out.
Not after, especially after yesterday. I don't think that's going to happen.
You'll see either it's either going to be John Gruden or it's going to be a Power 5 coach.
Yeah, and which lines up exactly what Brett. I keep wanting to call him Brett Swain. What Jason Swain said.
There's no coordinators are going to be given this job. No coordinators. No Brett Venables. No. There's not a coordinator that's going to be taking over this job.
Because no matter how good the coordinator is, Curry, they are going to spend. Just wait till you see how much money we spend on this next coach. Just wait. I mean, it's going to be.
Tennessee's been in a state of mediocrity for 10 years. They have not had a 10-win season since 2007.
Yeah.
So Tennessee's going to pony up the money. Tennessee's not going to hire a MAC up and comer. I don't consider Scott Frost a MAC guy or whatever by any means. He's not a Butch Jones. He's ahead of Butch Jones in my opinion where he was or whatever. Even though Butch had won a couple Big East titles and this and that, Scott Frost is a hot commodity. Even though he's at UCF.
Here's my. I don't know if I have 5. I would say I'll try to name 5. Scott Frost is a very real possibility for me.
Yeah.
And from what I know a lot of people wouldn't be happy with that because it's, the first thing they look at is, it's UCF. And I understand. I get that. But I think there's some potential there. So Scott Frost is one of my – I don't think Dan Mullen – I don't want Dan Mullen because I think Dan Mullen is just one step ahead of Butch.
I disagree, but go.
look at his record, though. I mean, Dan Mullen, I think would be.
I would be okay. I would be okay with Dan Mullen if it ends up being Dan Mullen. I'm good. Because in my opinion, listen to me right here. In my opinion,
okay,
if you can, I like your John Fulkerson, by the way. I like this.
Oh, thanks.
It's like the John Fulkerson dude.
Yeah.
It's basketball season. But no, I think that if you can recruit kids and get to a number 1 ranking in Starkville, Mississippi, I think if you're given the reins at Tennessee and the resources at Tennessee and what Knoxville has to offer and the recruiting budget of what Knoxville has to what the University of Mississippi State in Starkville, Mississippi has, I think that and he's in the West right now. So as long as he's in the West, he ain't going to get to the SEC championship as long as Nick Saban's at Alabama and things like that. So if he moves to the East and he gets all those resources, like I said, because arguably Tennessee has the best resources in the East. They have better facilities than Florida. I've seen those. They've got, they're right there on par, with right now Georgia's front runner in the East. But Tennessee's resources and recruiting, Tennessee, at things like that. If Dan Mullen has the keys to all those things, I think Dan Mullen could get us back to Atlanta on a regular basis, whether it's every 3 years or so or whatnot. But I think Dan Mullen could get Tennessee to Atlanta, and I'd be completely fine with Dan Mullen if it ends up being Mullen.
I like Dan Mullen.
And did you see what he almost did to Alabama yesterday?
Well, I know. But there's a lot of almosts. I mean, and I understand. But that's also against an Alabama team that is highly injured.
Right. I agree.
So, that's such a tough thing for me. I'd have to think about the Mullen thing. I just would. But Scott Frost, Dan Mullen, I used to think Caleb Emmert just said Justin Fuente. I actually used to think that was a real possibility. I don't now.
No, I just think it's not. I don't think that's a knock on Justin Fuente, and I know the Virginia Tech fans are happy to keep him. I think he's a great coach, but I think they're going to try to go I'm not saying that whoever they hire will have more success than Fuente will at Virginia Tech, but I think they're going to try to hire somebody that's a bigger name than Justin Fuente.
I do, and I think Tech fans should honestly try to keep Justin Fuente for as long as they can,
and I think they will. Yeah,
and here's my last one, and here is who I think it's going to be. I almost have no doubt in my mind. Don't you give me that smile. I know what that means.
But I know what you're going to say.
I am not about 95% sure that our next coach will be John Gruden.
Why do you think that?
Because I have been a devoted listener now to the Swain event every morning. And I know, I
listen to the Swain event. I love the Swain event.
Listen, let me just go through some things. So Jordan Rogers last night, who has the best hair of any commentator, bar none. He sucks at being a commentator, but hey, his hair's on point.
Right.
ESPN guys can't. He said last night basically that. They talked about it.
Yeah.
He said, it's not going to happen. Well, ESPN employed people can't talk about it.
No.
There's a clause in their contract that they let anything like that out.
Right.
So, of course, they're not going to. So, I don't listen to any ESPN people.
No.
And for what Jason said, I think Jason is in the know with a lot of people.
Oh, I do too. I agree.
He's got, of any of the insiders or anything that we listen to on Vol Nation, I think Jason has, honestly, more inside information than any of them.
Oh, I trust Jason Swain on Twitter over any other sources that we've seen or anything.
And he said that Gruden is our top choice, and an offer basically is on the table. He has not come out and said that it's done, but he has said that we are closer than ever to getting Gruden.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that he knows that we're getting Gruden, because he even said, I can't divulge all my information.
Right.
Well, hello, if you say that we're as close as ever, but you can't divulge all of it, then what's the next step?
Right. I think there's a legit chance. I really do. I really think there's a legit chance Tennessee ends up with John Gruden. I really do. Josh asked if Lane Kiffin is a viable option.
Nope. No.
He's way down the totem pole.
Yeah.
There's no way Lane Kiffin.
I would take him in a heartbeat as offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
But he's not going to digress from a head coach where he's actually doing great where he is right now.
Oh yeah.
He's not going to go from head coach to offensive coordinator, even though we would pay him much more than what he's getting right now.
Yeah.
I think he wants to make it as a head coach. I don't think
and he will.
Yeah. So I think Gruden. I do. I don't, and I haven't wavered from this at all.
No, you haven't.
The whole time.
That's
so
for sure.
until he comes out and says no, and ESPN's laying 100 more people off in this month, and he makes the most. And what would save them the most money? So
right. No, you're right. You're right. John Gruden had a meeting this weekend with his family in Tampa.
Is that confirmed? Did he actually have a meeting with?
Yeah. He had a meeting.
Okay.
He had a meeting, and speculation is that it is actually in regards to the Tennessee job, whether it's the Tennessee Vols job,
right,
or the Tennessee Titans job,
or
is yet to be,
or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers job from some things I've heard.
Right. Yeah. So there's I think Gruden is coaching somewhere next year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I really do. I really think he's coaching somewhere, whether that's in Knoxville, Nashville, Tampa, is yet to be determined. But
I will say this though: if Gruden doesn't happen this year, then I will never. I'm obviously off the Gruden train if it doesn't happen this year. Because there's no chance it happens if it doesn't this year.
Right.
None.
Yeah. And that's true. Monty Kiffin was John Gruden's defensive coordinator while down in Tampa. So, but I would love to see Lane come as offensive coordinator or something like that. like we said, yeah, there's no way that he's going to go to a Power 5 coaching job. His next stop will be a Power 5 conference.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's going to stay. He may be at FAU for one more year. It won't surprise me if he's gone at the end of this year and hops on somewhere. And but yeah, so a lot of stuff will be happening.
The next few days I think will be very interesting.
Oh, without a doubt, it's going to be the wheels. Like we said, the wheels are turning now. The wheels are moving. Saturday in Neyland will be sold out. I feel strongly that Saturday will be sold out. Against LSU.
It's a night game, dude. That place will be nuts.
Yeah, it's going to be yeah. Neyland Stadium will be rocking Saturday night against LSU.
Do you think how soon do you think we hear rumblings of, like, more than just rumors, obviously, but like rumblings of something? Like, could we? I mean, because last year Texas fired. Was it Charlie? Texas fired Charlie Strong, and 5 hours later they hired Tom Herman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we saw all this. We saw all this. That may not be the best choice there, Wayne. But I don't know. I could rock it for 2 games like Brady Hoke's going to do. But there was all them rumors coming out about, we saw all that stuff over the weekend that John Gruden is going to be, there's an announcement on Sunday for John Gruden going to be the head coach. So in 5 hours, are we going to see an announcement? We may have an announcement tonight. We may have an announcement tonight that Gruden will be the coach in 2018. Hope will finish out the year, but a coach may be named by the end of the day. Who knows? It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be like refreshing Twitter all day.
Oh my gosh! Hey, listen, I was going to say if Gruden's hired, we have to have a show, but whoever's hired,
we'll be right back.
Especially if it's Gruden from 5 hours from now, we'll have something tonight.
Oh no, yeah, we'll have Wes. I think there's a legit chance. We hit on it a little earlier. I think there's a legit chance John Gruden is a lot of news media and a lot of media are making fun and kind of laughing and stuff. There's no way you get John Gruden. There's no way you get John Gruden. I legit think there's a legit chance John Gruden ends up in Knoxville. Like I said earlier, I think it's about 60%, something like that.
And I'll say this: there's a lot of people that I've followed on Twitter and Ball Nation that were completely said there's no chance.
Yeah, and now they're kind of rebuffing
which they're thinking now. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I think there's a legit chance. I think
Gruden is making $6.5 million, Chris, per year with ESPN.
Yeah, and there's rumor of the contract. Any numbers that I've heard that Tennessee's willing to offer, don't know, but it's been around $10 million a year. Yeah. Tennessee's came out. Like I said, everything's rumor. Everything's rumors out there. Nothing is obviously confirmed, but everything is going around that Tennessee's willing to make John Gruden the highest paid coach in college football. All this. So Butch Jones, I don't know. Man, hey, I will say this. I don't know if you follow Charlie Burris or not. He's on the
I think so.
He's on the show with Jason Swain.
Yeah.
And he came out and said, rumor of people knowing, how Coach Butch Jones has treated players, saying that he doesn't deserve all the well wishes that people are giving him and stuff like that. Without a doubt, Butch Jones is leaving the program better than he found it. There's talent there for the next whoever's hired will have talent there. Other than, like, Butch Jones didn't have a whole lot of talent when he got there, so Butch Jones has put talent into the program. There's time and time last night when I was watching that game that, I would see Tyler Bird stick somebody on defense or on a kickoff return, and I said he needs to be playing defense.
Oh yeah.
Ty Chandler, Ty Chandler needs the ball more. So there's things that there's talent on the team, but I think the next staff will, is obviously going to be able to put Tennessee in a better chance to win and go further than what Butch is taking them. And so but yeah, we heard rumblings last year of the Matt Crowder incident. There's been rumblings that, he put his hands around the defensive back's neck a few years ago in practice and things like that. So I don't know whether any of them's true. But there's a lot of rumblings out there that Coach Butch Jones doesn't deserve all the well wishes that he's getting based on how he treated former players and current players. Probably not everybody, but certain former players, certain current players, things like that. So,
and like I told you last night, I feel sorry for any coach that has to go through all this stuff. And
I do too. I do too.
Because really, when they say, "Oh, I don't pay attention to it," well, that's just a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's a lie. You hear it every day. So, but if he did that stuff to players, that really doesn't make me feel a whole lot sorry for him.
Right. And I mean, the whole thing about Antone Davis. I mean, he made Antone Davis drive to Florida. I mean, he that's not cool. I mean, he was a first-round draft pick, VFL, back in the early 90s. I mean, he's like one of the guys. I mean, a lot of players look to Antone Davis for guidance and counseling and things like that. And to make a guy like that drive on his own dime to away games and things, I don't get that.
No.
But yeah, there's no channel or anything as of right now. I mean, it'll be on ESPN as soon as they announce anything, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But Twitter will, trust me, as soon as it happens, we're gonna hop on and we're gonna talk about it, because I promise you, as soon as it happens, I promise I'll know about it, or Benji will know about it. And
I'll tell you this, though, if it happens between 6 to 7:30 tonight, there is a men's group thing I have at church. So if it happens during that,
I know,
we'll do it after.
Yeah, we'll do it after regardless.
Okay.
If it happens in the next couple hours, I got a flag football game I'm going to be playing in
you're not. No,
in
you
Elizabeth.
that crap, dude. Hey,
right? Yeah.
They don't need you.
I stop instantly and we'll update. So so yeah, everything's just going to be a wait and see approach. I'm curious to see what happens. It's going to be interesting. We're going to be on checking everything that we listen to, keeping updated and all that stuff. And I promise, as soon as anything happens, we'll if we don't post right then and there, I'll post something on my Facebook or something like that, and we'll hit on it later that night.
Yeah.
So thank you all for tuning in. You got anything else?
No, I'm just going to comment on Chris's thing real quick. Basically, so yeah, Antone Davis was asked to drive to, told, I guess, to drive to Florida on his own money. He came out with a statement that said he was bullied and harassed by Butch Jones. Now, the full effects of that, we won't know everything. But that's basically, Butch treated him like crap from what he said. So that's basically
Antone Davis called the Tennessee environment a hostile working environment.
Yeah. So anyway,
not a good look, look at all. So yeah, exactly. Hey, I've got you on that, Amon. I'll keep you up.
All right.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you all soon. See you, buddy.
Bye.